Bing, bang, bang, bang. All right, there we go. Hey guys, Detailing After Dark, Norman. So, just gonna kind of set the things in motion as far as. Uh, hey guys, Detailing After Dark. Hey guys, Detailing After Dark. Just here, going over some things as far as setting client expectations, as far as from a detailer standpoint, to make sure that your client knows what they're paying for. I never touch the keys until we've walked the car, uh, and also said price. Once that is negotiated, quote unquote negotiated, price is the price. Uh, it's either yes or no. I tell them over the phone. I'll overlook their car with the visual check, just to make sure if there's mold present, dog hair, excessive mess, stuff like that, to where the price will change. And not doesn't happen quite often. I would say only a handful of times a year do I really get a customer that thinks it should be cheaper because they have blah blah the rubber floor mats or seat covers, stuff like that. Uh, the naysayers of the group of clients that I have, overall, you shouldn't have too much worry if you're a detailer. As far as a client standpoint, um, you get what you pay for, and that's like, I don't mean to say that rudely. I don't say that like you're if you don't have money, stuff like that. uh but if it was if it was cheap, then you're gonna have cheap results. I don't like buying stuff cheaply myself. My chemicals are not cheap. I think the cheapest chemical I have, actually I do have a cheap chemical. It's Simple Green. I use that to clean my floors. It's about cheapest chemical I have. I think they're like 12 bucks a gallon. Outside of that, uh, my standard chemical cost is like $40 to $50 per gallon. Um, then I have other gallons that are in the $100, and I have other ones that are in the hundreds of dollars. Um, I don't say that to boast. I just tell people, if you go to a professional detailer, he's gonna have chemicals that cost money, and he has the skills that you might not have to actually get your car cleaned. And then from another standpoint is, you shouldn't, you know, I'm always weary when somebody's like, can you make it like, what will make it cheaper? And when I start hearing a customer say that, is the moment that I just start walking away. Like, it's just, you're going to want, they're going to want too much on the result side while not spending money. The last thing I do, I don't even think about it, but it's funny to even say it, but do you go to a restaurant and negotiate the price on the meal? You know, and I always ask people, and I only said that to like maybe two or three people, and these were businessmen, and their buddy laughed because they brought him there to have his car detailed, and he was just like, you know what, nobody's ever talked to me that way. I was like, well, I'm not going to deal with you. Like, it's costing money and time dealing with you, and I don't want to do it. And I mean, again, rarely had that happen. I can only say twice. So as far as from a detailer standpoint, is you just have to set the example and you have to set the pace. It's like, look, I'm going to be cleaning your car, and I walk them around with a flashlight. It's like, hey, what is this? Like, what did you spill? And they're like, oh, okay, I just caught that. I was like, is it, do you drink milk? Do you drink coffee in here? What do you do? And I try to understand them, and I try to get to know them, so that way when I'm working on their car, I kind of know, I know who I'm cleaning up after. It's like, when you have that, like if you have kids or if you have dogs even, or cats, and you have two of them at least, one of them is the problem because they always create a mess or mess something up. Not like you hate them, but it's like, then you have the one that you don't have to worry about, and they keep it pretty righty tighty. That's how I kind of figure out my customers. Like, oh, they like going camping a lot. They're very outdoorsy. They're a homebody, or they're always, drinking coffee, stuff like that. To where once I know who I'm cleaning up after, then I know how to kind of attack the car properly, effectively, and then set the pace to where, yes, this is going to be a $200 detail. rather than somebody else that's like, oh, I'm always outdoor. I eat a lot of food in my car. I don't really clean up after myself. I'm messy. And I'm kind of like, okay, I'm going into a war zone. And the price changes. Like, oh, okay. So a $200 might become a 300, might become a 400. Um, Other times I've talked people out of getting some things done. Like, oh, I want to get my car clean, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Sure. On the exterior, why are you trying to get all this buffing and waxing done? And they're like, well, I'm trying to sell it. I'm like, are you selling it to a car dealer, car salesman? Like, no, I'm just going to sell it on Facebook. I was like, dude, just take it through a basic wash. I already clean the door jambs when I do interior. Let's just cost that. And that knocks the price down by $50 to $100, um, other times too, I've lost $200 on doing details, and I want to make sure that I do right by my clients and that I have the right clients that I want to have. I don't want to be what is snaky. I want to be all slimy on my sales. Um, but those are expectations that a detailer should be. You should exemplify uh, the the professional in the room. They're coming to you for a skill. And also I tell a lot of customers, like, you should expect your detailer to recommend and also not recommend stuff. If you are a detailer and you're recommending everything to everyone, you're a bad detailer. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call it like I see it. I think you're just really in it for the money. You're not even in it to actually have cars get professionally done. You're just doing it because it's a quote unquote easy trade that you're able to do and that you can just milk money. That's disgusting. It's a horrible person. So outside of that, yeah, let's like pop into some of these, messy cars and stuff. I'm part of a detailing group. Um, let's see here. Swap over, boom, like this. And, you know, this is where I will, oh, I think this is the Detail Geek. This is actually, he has a YouTube show, and he does some pretty intense cars. I do, I don't do too many family cars. A lot of mine are, you know, in the professional realm of like doctors, lawyers, um, company cars, managers, stuff like that, executives. And I do drug cars here for my insurance companies, wrecks and stuff like that, blood. But yeah, walking the customer, like I shine a flashlight in there. Like if the chairs were in here and then they had all their floor mats, yeah, they're like, oh, well, it's not super dirty. Like you can pick all that up. Like, oh, I'm like, and then you take this like, and then I have to like say, imagine taking the seats out. Like this is a lot. And I send photos like this. Like once I'm done taking the seats, I'm like, this is why it's gonna cost that. And then there's like, holy smokes, because you don't think there's a lot of garbage in there till like somebody really removes stuff, and then you start seeing like that's a lot. Like, this like I have to get in there with the brush chemical tools. I have to make sure that that stuff's either scraped out or brushed out or steamed out. Like there's a lot of uh, lack of a better word, trial and error, lack of a better phrase, trial and errors to get this back to 100%. Make sure this is cleaned out, the USBs. Then there you go. It's like, the floor is spick and span. So those are just things where, oh no, that's a four, $400 to $600 detail. And, they cancel. Okay. But yeah, those are those things. Just had a customer cancel to reschedule. So it's all right. Yeah, on top of that, it's just yeah, $600 on this. Like you're like, oh yeah, 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 no. And that gets bad. Like, you're going in, you're I mean, it's just like, oh, I could vacuum this at home, do all that. Great. Take all that out, vacuum that out. And then, yeah, the price might knock down if it comes in zero, like heavy stuff. But that's going to fill up a vacuum. I do a 4.5 rigid vacuum cleaner. Um, it's the best one. It's the best bang for your buck. Uh, Reason why I have it is because yeah, it's 5 horsepower on a 4.5 gallon. That's just has the most suction that I think vacuums have right now. Um, Going into that, yeah, that would almost fill up my trash. That would just disgusting. And this is where you walk the customer. These are expectations. Hey, we're gonna get this out. I don't think this carpet color is coming back. This has been very needed. The food's been kneaded into the fibers to where there's gonna be uh, a point of no return. Like there's only so much color you're gonna get back. Um, I don't know if there's mold in there. I would say be ready for a mold bill. This might be mold bill. Um, and that's before I get the keys. I'm like, hey, this, and this. This is problems. Like that's an excessive amount of stuff in the floor. Um, and they might harp back on it, but it's like I'm just being real. Dude, just destroyed, destroyed. Teeny babies. Where else is it? This stuff, man. Looks like paint. Just oiled seats. Just so much oil. And again, it's like you have to have the skills, one, and then two, you have to have the tools. It doesn't matter how skillful you are. If you don't have the tools or the solutions, you ain't getting it out. Um, that's just madness. And this is where you tell them, like, hey, I'm not trying to just take your money, but that's gonna take time. That's like those floors are just beaten, 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 beaten. Oh, it's all crusty. And this is where I tell people, like, yeah, this is 350, and it's a take it or leave it. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't want to have that issue. That's just crazy. What is he doing here? Oop, turn the volume off. Just mud chunks. How do you get mud that high in there? It's like somebody was slapping mud on it. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird. That's the part I don't get is like how you allow. Like I understand life gets busy, but I mean, my biggest thing is like how often do you walk by a trash can when you're getting in and out of your car? And I tell a lot of my clients that like, hey, you want to be careful. This is now fully detailed. Um, Maybe buy like the bathroom size trash cans and have it in your car. Because the last thing you want is a spill. You don't want to spill orange juice on. Otherwise, you're coming back for something as little as orange juice spill. Um, this helps your car not just look longer, but last longer. Because like when you don't have all that grease and muck inside your car, it's not damaging the surface of your fibers, your fabrics, not damaging the surface of your plastics. And stuff like that just gets out of hand very quickly. Oh my God. $800. That's it. There's no conversation that'll be had. What is this? Oh, jeez. Ooh. And Detail Geek. Yeah. So just let's see what's on here. These videos are always crazy. Dude, these videos are so fake. So fake. Why are they fake, you ask? Somebody had to literally shoot that stuff in the car. Like there's no way you are getting that in your car and you're not covered in dirt. That, or it's after a tsunami or whatever they had over there. But those are just what? No, 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 no. Oh Jesus, Pro Boy neck, dude. That's pretty sick though. Okay, that would be. I would accept that for a dirty car. That would kind of suck to take away, clean off. There's that. Yeah, but that's really it. Like, you just need to set the expectations. You need to not allow a client to take over your business. Don't allow them to name the price, name when it's going to get done, name. If they start telling you what you need to do on your business and on your dime, walk away. Don't don't waste your time with it. Um, and just make sure you have the tools to do the job that you're making somebody pay you for. Otherwise, keep it clean. Peace out.